what's going on, SML? We are back with SML Countdown, final one for the Madden 25 cycle. Just saying that, I see the smiles across the screen. Yeah, Madden 25 is over. Um, what do you guys think? Before we even get into this stuff, how do you guys feel about the Madden 25 cycle? You excited it's over, or sad to see it go?
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited it's over just because there's a new one on the horizon. I think in its entirety, it was a pretty good game, but you get tired of the same team. You know, there's like no real players left. They're
Yeah,
all generated players. It's just time.
yeah. What about you, Straw? You happy to see it go, or
Oh yeah, I'm definitely happy. Yeah, it was time to stop the bleeding, man. I
yeah?
was it was about time. You get to a point where it's only so much you can do. It's I think the refresh is always nice, and then doing it with a new game is even better. So everybody back on an even playing field.
Yeah, and I gotta imagine taking a rival. I mean, you're an Eagles fan. You take the Cowboys. That's tough. I can't imagine taking the Steelers like just
Yeah,
for
that
a
was a rough
year.
one.
But it did. We may actually get to that point or that event later on in one of our topics.
Yeah.
But so our first topic, and we'll just go ahead and start some fireworks. Maybe this will get the chat going because this is an interesting topic. I think. Does Doink's Madden 25 cycle? Now we saw him last year, every year in the playoffs. Made I think 2 Super Bowls, won a Simbardi. And everybody said, "Oh, it's set feet lead," and he said, "No, it's not." Doink was barely above 500 this cycle, 0-3 in the playoffs. Didn't even sniff the Super Bowl. Do you think this cycle proves how good set feet lead was, and will we see these omniscient guys take a step back too? And we'll start with you, AJ.
Oh, um, I don't think it's as cut and dry as that, man. Just simply because this Madden felt vastly different than last Madden. And a lot of people that were good at last Madden weren't as good at this Madden, and I don't know. You know, I had a not so great cycle last Madden. I kind of hovered just under 500, had a few playoff seasons, and then this Madden I felt a lot better about the
What
game.
quarterback did you have this year?
Yeah, I know. It's
Okay, just
that's
checking.
I was rounding off to the point that set feet lead obviously helps. And I think everybody can agree after playing both Maddens, it wasn't nearly as game changing as last Madden. I feel like the elite quarterbacks were still elite in this game, but quarterbacks in general were just good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You've seen the Tommy Tune experiment, and you know everybody's been saying all cycle quarterbacks don't matter. Last cycle, quarterbacks mattered a lot, and then set feet lead just kind of put them over the top. So I guess I'm I guess it did make a big difference last cycle. Now that I'm thinking about it, yeah, and Doink took advantage of of the NFC. I think he was in the NFC last year with the
Yeah.
Falcons. Kind of like the Woods logic. You just got to get to the game. If you can get to the game, anybody can win.
Yeah, absolutely. What do you think, Straw?
Yeah, I think the abilities are always a huge. They always have the potential to be game changers. Like I think we've heard people say sometimes you have them, and some users still won't win. But the right user gets an OP ability, and you see that magic can happen. Especially the later you get in the cycle, everybody knows each other. Everybody basically has super teams, and now the difference in the game could be an ability. And so I think you see it. You definitely see it. And how guys go from now. I will say each game is different. Trying to play to your strengths and all that kind of stuff. That could always factor in, but I do think we're gonna see some omniscient guys kind of take a step back as well. I think it's gonna be similar. So yeah, I think that does show. I think that does prove, like without those abilities, sometimes you're not as good as you were before.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely help. I mean, I don't think anybody can argue that they're not good abilities. So if you lose them, you're probably going to take a step back. Um, so talking about next cycle, who do you think doesn't make it through? I mean, we saw I think a third of the league we didn't see make it from start to finish. Who do you think is probably either teetering on retirement or teetering on maybe they won't be here? Straw, you got any names in mind?
I mean, I could go with the low hanging fruit. He'll probably pop out, and then maybe we'll see him again. Maybe NYT does the same thing.
That's
He
gonna
does
be
it
my
at
yeah.
he has his little come and go. Um, it's tough. I think that the SML is only getting bigger and better. It's getting super competitive. There's so many guys who want it. There's so many ways to make content now. And I know that Prime and everybody are just trying to get the best guys in here. So I think a lot of that could have a big influence on it.
Yeah.
So just making sure guys don't lose that interest, and if they do, then they might not make it through. So that I say all that to say I'm still going with my NYT pick.
Yeah, that's probably a
He's
good
not
pick.
even he's not even back yet.
Yeah, that's true. Well, he's in the chat. That sort of counts.
Yeah, he's in the chat. He
True,
might as well.
very true.
Yeah,
I
I mean
guess
nobody has a
so much
team right now, so I guess that sort of counts. Who do you got, AJ? Since NYT doesn't count.
Oh man, I hate to do it to my guy DW, but I'd be surprised if I see DW make it a full cycle. I
Yeah,
feel
he's
like the
always
guy
kind of
is,
on the cusp, and if he doesn't have a good record, it seems to be about that time.
yeah, and he it seems like he's just guy's always working. He's working during the week, and then on the weekends he's working. So he's a busy guy.
Yeah.
I hope it's not true, but that would be my highest probability to not make it the full cycle.
I think he's going to be refreshed getting a new team. I think he's going to maybe rethink his draft strategy. I think he took the Cardinals, and they were a lot of a rebuild. I mean, you had Marvin Harrison, and that was about it. And that may not be the best way to go this time. But so I was going to go with NYT. I think that's kind of low hanging fruit. He's definitely going to not make it the full cycle because I don't remember last time he did. So talking about next cycle though, you got your top 5 and bottom 3 teams. Who do you think are your top teams and your bottom teams, AJ?
Number one, I got Eagles.
Yeah.
I just think top to bottom, like
Yeah.
you don't really need anything. You got some older contracts and some younger players, but I mean from the jump, you have an elite team, and I think that's going to be appealing for some because we watched Matt win with the Ravens season 1 when that team was like stacked.
Yep.
Woods won early in the cycle with the Eagles. So I think that's appealing for some of these guys that maybe don't have as much success. I know Matt's won a Simbardi and Woods technically has two last cycle too, but um, take that team from the jump and you can go far the first few seasons. So with that, I have number 2, the Lions, another complete team. I think Goff is going to get some more love too. I think he was a superstar this previous Madden, but I think he's going to be. He had a MVP caliber season this last season,
Mm-hmm.
so we'll see if EA gives him some love. But people like to talk about the Goff contract, but the Lions are elite at every level. They got the speed receiver, they got the really good O line, they have the fast running back, they have a bruiser running back. Their defense is stacked with young talent. I mean, you could argue that they're higher than the Eagles for a Madden team.
Yeah,
Number
absolutely.
3, I got the Chiefs. I still think they're top 5 in my book. After building them this cycle, I have like 8 guys that I played cycle long that are all still really good players across the offense and defense, and those same guys will be there next year to develop. Um, you throw in that and some of the older veterans that they have from the start with Kelsey and Chris Jones and whatnot. They're elite from the jump, and that defense is a blank slate after about 2 seasons to build however you want them. I got them at number 3. Number 4, I have the Ravens. Still a really good squad. Somebody that's going to run with Lamar is going to get him this year,
I hope
and
not.
I'm pretty sure. I mean, nobody's going to play like Matt. So
Yeah,
unless
no.
Matt decides to go with the Ravens again, I think you're stuck with somebody that's probably going to utilize his legs at least a little bit. Hopefully, it's not a total cheese ball. Ravens still a really good squad though. And then number 5, I put the Giants. They got a young QB to develop. They have a lot of young pieces on offense, especially wide receiver. O-line needs some help, but other than that, the defense is disgusting, especially the front 7. So I'm really excited about them.
All right, Straw, do you have a top 5?
Yeah.
Are they any different?
And yeah, actually, I got some different guys on there.
Okay.
So the number one is Eagles, but that's no brainer right
Yeah.
there. But from there, two I got Packers, three I got the Jags, four the Raiders, and five the Titans. So that's kind of
Raiders.
Did you say the
how. Yeah,
Titans?
I got
Did we go to
similarly.
the bottom three already?
I think I'm excited. Thinking about Cam Ward and then the full rebuild for that team. It's kind of
Okay.
similar to the Giants. I don't think the same pieces. You don't have an Abdul Carter or like some of those other fun
Or a
pieces,
receiver?
or a receiver or really anything.
Anything.
But in terms of a rebuild
Yeah.
team,
Okay.
I think that one could be a lot of fun. You literally have everything to rebuild except the quarterback.
Are you saying
Sounds like
we could see
Straw's
maybe you
most
going to
realistic vampire.
Tennessee?
Say that again.
Are we saying maybe you could be going to Tennessee? Because I see
Hey,
them as a
he
bottom
does-
like 3 team, but I mean,
Yeah. So maybe they'll get snatched up early.
okay. So what about bottom teams? I did like your Packers pick because I think all that speed at receiver, somebody's going to jump on that. Only thing I'd hate is playing the Cowboys and the or not the Cowboys, the Bears and the Lions.
And yep.
Yeah, you got to play them twice. But outside of that, that's a pretty nice team. But how about the bottom 3?
Yeah, my bottom three, I just went all NFC East. I don't want any NFC East team. I'm not doing that again. That was an awful experience. So no Giants, no Commanders, no Cowboys. That's it. I am out on those.
Okay, a little bit of Madden 25 NFC East fatigue I see sitting in there. How about you, AJ? Who's your bottom 3?
Niners, Saints, Panthers. I mean, you can pick the NFC South is still in shambles. I feel like
Yeah,
Saints are. There's nothing really fun there. They're a blank slate, so to speak. But there's just nothing you're excited to really use. And I'm a Saints fan, so I can only imagine the excitement of everybody else in the league to use
yeah,
them. Panthers, same thing. Blank slate. Nobody's excited about Bryce Young or really anything there. They have a few decent defensive pieces, but that's it. And then I got the Niners. I think that Purdy contract coupled with a lot of the old bad contracts they have,
yeah.
that team is dead in the water. Uh, Nobody's going to touch that with 10-foot pole other than maybe Steven NC.
Yeah, I think for being a
Niners were
49er
close
fan,
on my list.
he got lucky because I think they're going to fall to him. Yeah, he could pick
Oh,
last,
yeah.
and I think they'll fall to him. One team I do think I didn't hear anybody mention the Cardinals. I like the Cardinals. I think they're gonna be a fun team. Obviously, Kyler Murray's got a giant contract, but outside of that, you got a lot of young pieces, and I think they'd be a lot of fun. But so we talked about Madden 26. Let's wrap this last show of Madden 25 up with our Madden 25 moment of the cycle. And Straw, we'll start with your. What was your favorite moment of the Madden 25 cycle?
Uh, so when I went into this, I kind of just thought of it as like the moment that I think sticks with me the most, the one that I think sort of wrapped up the essence of this cycle. And I don't think we're gonna hear the end of it. And I think that was Soda losing to Dan in the Super Bowl.
Okay, yeah,
I think I think that with that game and where Soda was and what happened in that moment, I think as we talk about what was being talked about the entire season, AFC was creme de la creme, NFC is the butt of all the jokes. I think that when you look at all of the blunders that the NFC had from punter at quarterback and all of these different things. I think for him to lose it like that and then lead us into the summer, that was like one of the moments where I was just like, it was a huge win, obviously for Dan and what he was able to do, and now what that meant for his cycle, and a huge blow for the NFC there. So for me, that was my moment. That was the moment of the cycle that I think sort of just defined what the cycle looked like, sort of
yeah.
on the NFC side for me. So that was kind of how I picked it.
All right, AJ. So he has Soda grasping defeat from the jaws of victory. What do you have as your moment of the cycle?
It's like a two-way tie for me. The Woods field goal where he was shaking and the
Yeah, that was a
commentary
good
was
one.
commenting on the shaking was hysterical and really funny. that one's up there for me. And then as obnoxious as Prime is about it, the 4th and 16 against Stavo was a pretty cool moment because everybody thought Prime was toast. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
4th and 16, he just hurls it up into, just a tiny little window, and he gets it, and ends up winning the game. That was a memorable Super Bowl as well. Stavo um, kicking himself over that one because that's the one you really want over Prime.
Oh,
So
and he'll never hear the end of it. I mean, we still hear about the Memorial Day miracle, and there was like 7 people that were even here when it happened. Probably not that many, but it still comes up every cycle. So I don't think as long as Stavo's here and probably long after, it'll still be brought up. But my moment, I got 2. I'll rank them. My second favorite moment was Grimm playing an entire quarter with his punter at quarterback. There's just something about when guys have no idea what they're doing and just it's on display for everyone. Last cycle, I think it was last cycle, maybe the cycle before, Paulie played the computer in a fake SML that he had offline for a half before he realized it wasn't Dump he was playing. So that was right up there. Grimm playing his punter at quarterback and throwing 2 interceptions or fumbling twice. I forget which it was. He turned it over twice before he figured it out. That was probably my second favorite. My first, it was Straw taking the Cowboys. When you took the Cowboys on the draft and Paulie just lost it because he thought he had this perfect division thrown together. That was probably my favorite moment, which is a bad sign for Madden 25 because that means it just went downhill from there. But yeah, that was probably my favorite moment. Hopefully, we'll get another moment like that in Madden 26. I don't know. Maybe somebody takes the Giants in front of AJ or something like that. Who knows? It could be anything. The draft does bring out some interesting reactions. I know neither of you guys were here, but probably heard about the Raider fan. Not the one we got now, but the one that left in the middle of the draft because somebody took the Raiders. So there's some excitement in the draft sometimes, and I think this year that was my number one moment. But it's been fun. This was Madden 25. The cycle is over now. We finished up our SML countdown. Maybe we'll fit a mock draft in before the actual draft once we get the order and everything.
Yep.
But thanks for being on, guys. This has been a fun cycle, at least from a content standpoint. So we'll see if Madden 26 just continues to build on what we've already done.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for watching, guys. And 40 days, something like that until the next cycle. So we've got some time.